Hey guys, welcome to another quick trade talk video. In this one, we're just going to quickly talk about some pretty big news that's dropped this morning, and Nick Riewoldt has really spread it because he's very, very upset about it. But supposedly St Kilda has ruled themselves out of getting Jack Bowes from the Gold Coast Suns, and as it's been very heavily publicised in the last couple of days, with Jack Bowes comes pick 7 in the 2022 AFL draft, which is obviously very handy for us. Pick 7, and then we can get, we've got pick 9 already, so to have 2 picks in the top 10 would give us a lot of flexibility. But obviously the caveat with getting someone like Jack Bowes, and the main reason why pick 7 is even attached to the trade for him, is that he's got a heavily back-ended contract at the Gold Coast Suns, supposedly in the range of over $800,000 over the next couple of years. So it's a lot of money for a player that's unproven. Former top 10 draft pick from a couple of years ago. Very talented lad. Watched his highlights recently, and he's got a lot of Jack Sinclair about him. Very good on both sides of his feet. Quite quick, a very smart player, and got a pretty high ceiling based on what I watched. And he would be a very handy player for us. But supposedly St Kilda, and I have spoken to a few people this morning that know a bit more about this, and it is, fairly certain that we are not interested in getting pick 7 and Jack Bowes and his contract. And I had a bit of a think about this, and some people may correct me if I'm wrong, but considering the Clarko news, dropping last week, and the fact that Brad Hill was heavily linked to going back to North Melbourne because of Clarko, and now with all of that up in the air, I don't firmly believe, but I have a fairly strong feeling that that's not as strong anymore because of the news that broke on Clarko. So I feel like Brad Hill, there's actually more of a chance of him sticking around for another year than leaving at the moment, because there was only really one suitor for Brad Hill outside of St Kilda, and that was North Melbourne, and it was really to do with, relinking with his former coach Alistair Clarkson from his Hawthorn days when he started football all those years ago. So the fact that that's kind of cool, and obviously Clarko has now taken leave to deal with the allegations. I think that's kind of put the trade, or at least the fact that Brad Hill could end up at North Melbourne, on the back burner. I think Hunter Clark could still happen, but with Brad Hill, I don't know. I feel like we wouldn't be backing out of this deal with Jack Bowes and his big contract and getting pick 7 if Brad Hill was leaving. Obviously, that would pretty much be a salary dump, $900,000 a year over the next couple of years, I think was rumoured for Brad Hill. So we could essentially dump that and then bring in Jack Bowes on similar money over the next couple of years and get pick 7 on top of that. So the fact that we've pulled out of that means that there's something somewhere else down the line that we thought might have been happening, may not be happening anymore. The other thing that I was thinking, and I've read it online a bit, is that maybe we need a bit of contingency money for the JDG deal. If Collingwood continue to kind of up their game, maybe, for us to kind of get it over the line and not deal with forcing them to a trade, or them forcing us to a trade or whatnot, maybe a bit of money extra in the kitty for Jordan De Goey. Could be, I guess a plan B in case Collingwood continually try to up their game to keep him. So I feel like there's something down the line. I'm thinking out of all of the possible trades, Ben Long is still going to happen. Hunter Clark is a chance at North Melbourne or Essendon. And the Brad Hill one, I think Brad Hill was more leaving because of Clarko, and now that's kind of done. It wasn't so much any other reason. And the fact that we've ruled ourselves out of getting someone that's got a heavily back-ended contract, I feel like means that there was going to be some money that was going to be freed up down the line, and now that's not happening. So I'm curious to hear your thoughts, Sanders. Are you pissed off with this call about not getting Jack Bowes and obviously getting pick 7 with that? Obviously, Nick Riewoldt is very upset about it, and we'll quickly go through his thoughts because that was the main point of the video, was to go through what Rui reckons. Rui was not pleased on Fox Footy last night. Why would you not be keen on a trade? Riewoldt told Fox Footy, if you're a club and desperate for picks and to bring young talent in and you're not in the window anyway, why would you not entertain that? When it was explained that Bowes was reportedly on $1.1 million total over the next 2 years, Riewoldt scoffed at it being an issue, saying, please, with some of the blokes they've paid, unbelievable. We currently hold pick 9 in the draft, and obviously a lot of our interest is now on the Jordan De Goey possible trade that I mentioned in the video last night. So that's a bit of a downer because Pick 7 and pick 9 obviously gives you a lot more flexibility. We can still get Cam McKenzie in the draft if he falls around pick 8 to pick 10, which is what rumoured is to take place. And then obviously pick 7 gives you even more flexibility whether Collingwood match our offer for Jordan De Goey, and that means that we've got an extra draft pick, first rounder to offer them, and that kind of gets the deal done straight off the bat. Now we kind of go back to, I guess plan A and revert back to the plans before the Gold Coast Suns even dangled pick 7 around. So yeah, I think if it is because Brad Hill's staying and obviously we can't afford that sort of money and we need some money elsewhere, that makes sense, and I think that's the right call. But if Brad Hill ends up leaving and we don't get Jordan De Goey and then we miss out on pick 7, and Geelong are very firmly interested in pick 7, by the way. So if we then don't get what we needed to, what we needed to get done, and then we see the Premiers get someone like Bose and pick 7 and then get a good player out of that, I'll be absolutely pissed off. But I assume there is a bit of a method to the madness at the moment, and no doubt we'll find out in the next couple of days what happens there. So that's kind of the big news at the moment. Nick Riewoldt absolutely pissed off at the club. A very passionate saying. I love that he can come out on the media and be like that, but I think there's still probably a few things going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. I'm anticipating that Brad Hill's probably more likely to stay than leave now because of the Clarko news, unless another suitor comes along and they're interested in taking on most of his salary. I think at this point, we've basically decided, well, Hill is more likely to stay. We can't invest in someone like Bose on his big contract across $1.1 million in the next 2 years because obviously Jordan De Goey is a chance of coming in on a lot of money already. And then we've got other players that we probably need to pay, in the next couple of years, a fair bit of money and get their contract sorted. So I'll leave it there, saying it's a bit of a short one today. Hopefully you enjoy these videos. I kind of like just seeing the news and jumping on a video and jumping behind the mic and having a chat about it with you guys. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Do you think it's the right move? Opting out of getting pick 7 and the contract that comes with it from Jack Bowes at roughly $1.1 million over 2 years. Do you think it's the wrong call? Let me know your thoughts in the comments and we'll discuss them during the week. So yeah, thanks again for watching Saners. Please like the video, comment your thoughts as I mentioned, and most importantly, subscribe and you get notified on all future videos. The Jordan De Goey video dropped yesterday, and that was about him rejecting the latest contract offer from Collingwood, mainly to do with behavioural clauses. Gets us an inch closer to potentially getting him across the line and becoming a St Kilda player. So stay tuned for more news from the trade window on Trade Talk on Saints TV, as well as obviously Saints TV Weekly dropping yesterday and plenty of other content planned in the off-season. So thanks again for watching Saners. Enjoy the rest of your week, and as always, go you mighty Saners. See you guys.